Like always, another Tuesday stream, this time on a Blink Joker based archetype for Brandgate and a Kagero Narukami based archetype in Dragon Empire. So let's begin, but like always, cards from the last few days. We're gonna start off with the Dark State cards, with the first one being a rare order card, Crawl You Insects. It's a grade 3 normal order, and its skill is cost counterblast 1, soul charge 1, then choose one of your units. It gets plus 10k power until the end of turn for every 5 cards in your soul, and then if there's 10 cards in your soul, draw a card. Alright, not too bad. Grants you a soul charge, which is good for pretty much any Dark States deck that we got so far. The extra power is nice, especially for Final Rush, and the draw is nice if you're playing Boromagus. But honestly, Final Rush can make use of this as well because of the soul charge and the extra power. Next, Direful Doll Summone. Grade 1 AK power and its skills. Auto Rearguard. When this unit boosts, if your soul has 5 more cards, cost counterblast 1, until the end of the battle, when your opponent would call cards from their hand to the guardian circle, they must call 2 or more at the same time. Are we really getting one of these cards already in a new format? But anyway, this skill is pretty much usable in any Dark State decks, including in Premium, maybe not Gear Chronicle, but still really good. Especially when you're playing Final Rush, before you decide to use Bruce's ability to Soul Blast 5, you could use this card skill first and then do the Soul Blast 5. So really nice. Now for Brandgate, we start out with a normal order. Casually goes crazy as I willed it. Grade 2, normal order like I said, and its skills. Cost Soul Blast 1, choose one of your Vanguards, get plus 10k power until the end of turn. Not too bad for those decks that need power on their Vanguard, especially if they decide to make a Dimensional Police playstyle for Overdress, but overall it's a nice tech option. Next for a rare, Krana Road Fire Tiger. Grade 3, 13k power, and its skill is act rearguard once per turn, cost Soul Blast 1, this unit gets plus 2k power at the end of the turn, and then choose one of your opponent's front row rearguards and imprison it. It's a decent tech card for your prison deck, especially it's an axe so you can use this every turn. Next, a double rare, Super Speed Robo Chevosted. Grade 1 AK power and its skill is act rearguard once per turn, cost counterblast 1, soul blast 1, choose one of your opponent's rearguards and imprison it. Then, if there are 3 or more cards in prison, draw a card. Maybe costs a little more than the grade 1 in the start deck, although what saves this one is that it's an act. Next, Fighting Dragon Guard Dog Dragon. It's a rare grade 2 with 10k power and its skill is auto. When this card is discarded from your hand during your turn, if a set order is in your order zone, cost counterblast 1 and call this to rearguard. So far, not really much cards to discard for Brandgate, but this card definitely has a lot of future potential for comboing. But one nice thing is, you can always just discard this card for your ride deck. And now for Cater Sanctuary, we're going to start off with a triple rare, Heavenly Sword of Gorgeousness Aiden. Grade 3, 13k power, and its skills. Auto, when this card is placed on rearguard, cost counterblast 2, soul blast 1, call a card from your hand, and if it was a grade 3, draw 2 cards. Well, this skill just makes the order card bin replace, because this one's the actual unit. But anyway, second skill. Auto rearguard, when this card attacks, if you have 3 or more grade 3s, this unit gets plus 5k power until the end of turn. 3 grade 3s is not hard for Bastion, and what's nice about this second skill is that it says until the end of turn, so if this card stands from Bastion and attacks again, you get another 5k. So definitely a 4-up for the Bastion deck. Next, a rare Dark Strain Dragon. Grade 3, 13 power, and skills. Act rearguard. If you have 3 or more grade 3 units, cost Soul Blast 2, all your grade 3 units get boosted at the end of the turn. Now this card is really nice for the Bastion deck because it gives all your grade 3s boost and you're going to run a lot of grade 3s. My only gripe is you have to Soul Blast 2, which is quite a lot every single turn that you're going to need this. But nonetheless, you should run this card for that reason. Finally, the order card, Swinging Sword of Judgment. This is Bastion's sword, by the way. Grade 3 normal order, and its skill is cost Soul Blast at grade 3, and then choose one of your opponent's rearguards, put all rearguards in the same column as that unit to the bottom of the deck. Yeah, not really a great order card for Bastion, especially Soul Blasting at grade 3s, so you're going to need to consider continue riding over and over, but luckily this one is generic, so you do get some card removal, so I would say this card can be considered tech option. And now for Stokeia, our first card will be a double rare, Spearing Maiden Elenia. Grade 2, 10k power and skills. Auto, when this unit is placed on rearguard from your hand, cost Counter Blast 1, Soul Blast 1. Choose a grade 2 or less unit from your drop zone and call it to rearguard, and it gets plus 5 key power to the end of turn. So a Neo Nectar based unit that has a Granblue-like skill. Okay, now if we can ignore the Soul Blast, this is actually pretty good. It lets you recover. But still, Stelkea really needs a Soul Charge engine, which for some reason they still don't have. And finally, another order card, Sealed Road. Grade 2 Blitz Order. Yes, another Blitz Order for Stelkea. When will the other nations get theirs? But anyway, its skill is cost Counter Blast 2, choose one of your opponent's Vanguards, and it gets critical -1 to the end of the turn. That's pretty good. Sure, the Counter Blast might be a little heavy, but it sort of acts like a PG a little bit. Although if your opponent's Vanguard does get a crit in any way, this card can be kind of useless. But if you're at a 4 damage situation and your opponent doesn't really gain any crits for any reason, this card can actually save you, especially Guard Restrict. So mainly run this at decks that do not run too much Counter Blast, or just tech 2 copies. And now for the Tuesday stream itself, let's start off with the Dragon Empire cards. Here is your starter, Double Gun Dust Storm Bard. To the grade 1, Gunning of Dust Storm Nigel. Grade 1, 8k power, and it skills. Auto, when this card is rolled upon by Cataclysmic Bullet of Dust Storm Randor, Soul Charge 1. That will be important to the archetype. Second skill, Auto Rearguard. When your opponent's rearguard is retired during the main phase, costs Counter Blast 1, retire this unit, choose one of your opponent's rearguards, and retire it. This archetype plays very similar to Kagero, where you want to empty out your opponent's field as much as possible. So this second skill will be quite necessary for the deck, and it's considerable to be run as a 4 of. Next, Cataclysmic Bullet of Dust Storm Randor. Grade 2, 10k power, and skill is auto. When this unit is rolled upon by Heavy Artillery of Dust Storm Eugene, draw a card, choose one card from your drop zone, and put it to your soul. Why not? Second skill, Auto Vanguard Rearguard. When this card attacks, if your opponent has 2 or less rearguards, cost Counter Blast 1, Soul Charge 1, and this unit gets plus 5 key power to the end of battle. If it weren't the fact that it says Soul Charge 1, I would call this a regular Ride Deck card, but it's another 4 of because of its second skill. Finally, Heavy Artillery of Dust Storm Eugene. Grade 3, 13k power, and skills. Act Vanguard. Once per turn, cost rest 2 rearguards, choose one of your opponent's rearguards, and retire it. And then this unit gets plus 10k power until the end of turn. Very nice! You don't need to pay a Counter Blast for this. Second skill, Act Vanguard. Once per turn, if your opponent's rearguard was retired this turn, cost Soul Blast 5. Look at the same number of cards on the top of your deck as the number of open rearguards and choose any number of those and call them to rearguard, with the rest to your soul. This card retires, your grade 1 retires, you also got some support cards that retire. So you could get multiple calls in one turn, and you do have a decent enough Soul Charge engine. Pretty slow, but very doable twice a game. Overall, I would say a pretty decent and very easy to play secondary archetype. Here's your starter, Cardinal Vane Fovi. To the grade 1, Cardinal Noid Rotus. Grade 1, 8k power, and skills. Auto, when this unit is placed on Vanguard, search your deck for one world card, reveal it, and put it to your hand. That will be explained later. Second skill, Count Rearguard. During the battle that this card attacked or boosted, if your world is Dark Knight or Abyssal Dark Knight, this unit gets plus 2k power. You only run this as a Ride Deck card. In which we go to our first world card, which is basically another set order, Halloween Moonlight Night. Grade 2, World Order, and its skills. You play this card by Soul Blasting 1, and when it's placed on your order zone, draw a card. And its second skill is Count Order Zone. If your order zone has only world cards, activate these following effects accordingly to the number of cards in your order zone. 1 card, your world becomes Dark Knight. 2 or more, your world becomes Abyssal Dark Knight. So nothing very special. It's basically your ideal field so you can unlock special effects for your main units. That's all it really is. And now to the grade 2, Cardinal Noid Cubicia. Grade 2 taking power and skills. Auto Vanguard. When a world card is put into your order zone, choose one of your units and it gets plus 5k power until the end of turn. Wow, this one is just really weak for a Vanguard ride target. Second skill, Count Rearguard. During your turn, if your world is Abyssal Dark Knight, this unit gets plus 5k power. Of course, there's another one of these. Although like I said, your world cards is just meant to unlock special effects, but this is not one of those type of special effects I have in mind. Next to another world order. In the darkness nobody knows. It's a grade 3 world order, and you play this card by Soul Blasting 1. And its skill is, auto when placed on your order zone, choose one of your opponent's front or rear guards and retire it. It's a grade 3 world order, you might just say retire anything, but okay. Second skill, count order zone. If your order zone only has world cards, activate these effects according to the number of order cards in your order zone. 1, your world becomes Dark Knight. 2, your world becomes Abyssal Dark Knight. Like I said, nothing very special, just meant to unlock special abilities. Although what's nice about these world cards is that they have different abilities as well. Your grade 2 lets you draw a card, and this one lets you retire, so each one just has some unique stuff, but overall nothing very special. And now to our main boss unit itself, Cardinal Deus Orfist. Grade 3, 13 power, and skills. Count Vanguard rear guard during your turn. If your world is Dark Knight or Abyssal Dark Knight, this unit gets 5k power. Nice that this also works on rear guard, although I kinda wish that it says, if your world is Dark Knight, this card gets plus 5k, and if your world is Abyssal Dark Knight, this card also gets additional crit. You know, just a little bit more creative, and the more cards you have, the stronger it gets, that kind of idea, but this is fine. Second skill, Act Vanguard. If your world is Abyssal Dark Knight, cost Counterblast 2, call up to 3 Shadow Army tokens to rear guards, in which they are grade 1s with 15k power. Yes, they could also boost. Those are some pretty nice beat sticks. But overall, not too overwhelming, but I do really like its design, so I'm very tempted to play the deck, and I do see the deck with a lot of potential. Just give it some pressure and support, and I'll say it's going to be pretty good. And finally, D Booster Set 2, which has another Varina unit featured, pretty much confirming that Trickstar and Varina will be pretty much his main unit. This will be released on June 26. And it also comes with Bruce and Bastion in alternate arts as DSRs. I don't really care for those, to be honest. But now I am very tempted to build Yu's Dragon Empire deck. So that's it for this stream reveals. What do you guys think about Eugene and the Cardinal archetype? Eugene is basically classic Kagero with Desert Gunners. Very easy to play, and I think it's pretty fun. The Cardinal one is a little underwhelming right now, but I really do like the World Orders idea. More World Orders you got, the more abilities you're going to be unlocking. Right now I just need some pressure and support, but I really like its design because Link Jokers is actually one of my favorite clans. So I've chosen my Overdress deck. But other than that, have a nice day.